Does architecture really urge people to murder? In the heart of the city, cold geometry surrounds us. Can the walls themselves whisper violence? Some architects have asked the question outright. Bernard Tschumi once declared, "There is no architecture without violence." In 1978, he even quipped that to really appreciate architecture, you may even need to commit a murder. Is this a provocation or a warning? It sounds like something out of film noir, but real-life urbanists have long noted links between design and crime. In 1961, Jane Jacobs observed that crime was related to the ways in which we design and use our streets, parks, and buildings. Hidden back alleys and anonymous plazas become havens for the desperate. When public space is seldom used or overlooked, it is therefore a high crime rate area, Jacobs warned. One notorious case is Pruitt Igoe, a once hopeful housing project of 1950s modernism. It ended in collapse. A 1970s study found it abandoned because of a high rate of assault, rape, robbery, burglary, and vandalism, literally becoming a crime scene. Sociologist John Yancey blamed the very design. Endless identical towers, dim stairwells, elevators that opened onto nowhere. There were no front yards to care for, no clear boundaries, no sense of ownership. Crime thrived in the faceless voids. Yancey pointed out that the atomization of social interaction, the design of stairwells, the isolation of elevators, hallways, and lobbies, were all reasons for the violence at Pruitt Igoe. In short, nobody felt responsible for watching the place. Defensible space theory emerged as a response. Architect Oscar Newman argued we should reclaim territory from criminals. By restructuring the physical layout, adding porches, fences, and clearly defined yards, residents can control the areas around their homes. In Newman's words, all defensible space programs restructure community layouts to allow residents to control the areas around their homes. Essentially, give people something to care about, and they'll defend it. This idea is now formalized in CPTED crime prevention through environmental design. CPTED teaches that tactical design and upkeep can reduce both crime and the fear of crime. Simple things, good lighting, trimmed hedges, fences are not just aesthetics. They're safety tools. A home with windows overlooking the street or a park filled with legitimate users invites natural surveillance and deters predators. And yet, even iron gates and locks didn't tame Glasgow's Red Road flats. Despite 24-hour concierges, these towers became dogged by crime and vandalism. Heroin flooded the hallways, gang fights were commonplace. Violence in all its forms. The very amenities meant to protect big elevators, long corridors, ended up concealed crime spots. The more one studious professor said, high-rises work in some contexts, but they don't work in situations where you build them in isolated locations with people who have very little support. We know the built environment shapes us. Studies of neuroscience and design find that architecture affects mood and behavior. Light, color, spatial complexity, even the geometry of a room have real psychological impact. As one review notes, architectural stimuli influence human behavior, health, happiness, and physiological function. More strikingly, research has found that our physical and social environment may have a greater impact on human health than genetics, medical care, and lifestyle combined. In other words, nurture via walls and streets can outweigh nature. So are we puppets of our surroundings? Or are the triggers already in our hands? Philosophers and psychologists debate man versus environment. Buckminster Fuller captured the dilemma. Reform the environment, not man. But if the environment molds behavior so powerfully, it can also amplify our darkest instincts. An abandoned neighborhood square whispers desperation. A clean, ordered plaza whispers safety. The truth is murky. Buildings can create opportunity, places for criminals to lurk or for communities to gather. But a building cannot pull a trigger by itself. Architecture may nurture violence like a garden might grow weeds, but it doesn't plant murder in our hearts. In the end, the evidence points both ways. Yes, poorly designed environments like Pruitt Igoe or Red Road saw high rates of crime. Yes, good design, per CPTED, can deter it. Yet mass murderers have prowled manicured malls and suburban cul-de-sacs too. So does architecture urge murder? Perhaps only in metaphor and mood. Buildings set the stage, but the actors write the script. As we peer down dark corridors and at the silent walls, the city keeps its secrets. The question remains open, echoing in every empty lot and shadowy hallway. Is it the city that kills, or something far more human?